too cliche. I won't say I'm in love. The way of base, I won't say yeah. Get off my case, I won't say yeah.
You're not gonna finish.
Okay, you're back.
That was jamming. That was great.
Do you want me to ask you a question?
Yeah, that's kind of what we do here.
Yeah. Shall I, question? Tell me what you think about me. If you were to go back in time, and if you were to go for dinner with any one person, bring any one thing, and say anything, tell them anything, what, who, what, and where, when, why?
I feel like I'm in a job interview.
Should I just go right in there with like a straight off the back one? I'd go and have dinner with Hitler before he became charged. I'd take a gun and I'd tell him to go to hell.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
There's just like a, or like go to Lincoln and tell him not to go to the theatre tomorrow night.
Another great one. We're saving lives here. This is a good one. I think with the Hitler one, I think I would want to have dinner with him just to understand why.
How freaking crazy he is.
Yeah. And if he has any sound, not saying that any of that would be logical whatsoever, but I want to see how he connects the dots, right? Or if he just woke up one morning and was like, do you know what? No, I'm not even going to finish that thought because I can't say it out loud.
I'm going to ruin history.
Yeah, I'm going to be an awful human being.
Yeah.
Because I can't even put into words all of the awful atrocities that he has done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be a really good one. And then yeah, at the end of the dinner, you know, the check comes. I'd make him pay. And then, revolver. And I'm not one for gun violence, but sometimes it's necessary.
So, yeah. No, definitely. I think the main one that I would do, though, on a selfish note, is I would go back in time to when my mum or dad were married, so that I was on the way. You know, it was legit that I was still going to be there. And I would go for dinner with them, and I would take the blueprint for Amazon and tell them how to run it. And then we'd be the richest people in the world right now. And I would do good with the money, and I would share, and I would spread love.
I was really concerned with where that was going, because at first I thought it was like a Dr. Phil moment. At first I thought you were like, well, when my parents were actually happy and married, and I was like, oh, this turned very sad very quickly.
No, just to make sure they still had me, and I was like, born.
I had to pull out my therapist paper and pen, and I was ready to be. And how did you feel about that? I didn't have to, thank the Lord. I can put my feelings pocket away for now. That was concerning. But yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I just found out about how much money they make.
Jeff Bezos, has doubled his wealth or something in the pandemic. He has gone from 100 billion to 200 billion.
From packages. From things.
Yeah.
Because we're so lazy. And I don't even, now when I buy things, and it's because people charge for shipping. And that's the frustrating thing, because you buy a product and they're like, oh, by the way, an additional $30 or whatever it may be. And that's annoying. But now, because of Amazon, a lot of places do give free shipping, right? And I don't, but because we're so accustomed to going to Amazon, we just don't even look at all these other places. We're like, nah, you had your opportunity and you failed. Now I'm dedicated to Amazon. But the ironic thing is we still pay a monthly fee or a yearly fee or whatever.
But yeah.
But we're like, but it's free shipping.
But also Google can, if I went back and told my parents how to make Google, then maybe they'd be like, wait, tell me again, slow down, how do I do this? Whereas if you just literally told someone, right, create an online platform where people can buy anything, it's so freaking simple. The idea is just...
Yeah, and part of me is wanting to say, go back in time and say, hey, maybe start something called TikTok, where people go on it to watch videos of...
We had that, though. We had Vine. Let's be honest. We did have Vine.
I'm talking back to 1840, before computers were ever... and, completely disregard everything else, but only come through and say, hey, figure out, computers and all of that. But also, there's a platform where you can share videos of you doing things that really don't add to society whatsoever. Very entertaining to watch. And everybody does the exact same thing and it looks pretty much the exact same way, and that's the whole platform.
I went on your TikTok the other day. You've got quite a few followers, Missy.
On TikTok?
Yeah. Well, you've got the K sign, so that's better than not.
The K sign?
Like 10,000, 10K.
Oh. Yes, I understand technology. Yeah, no, I dabble. I can't keep up with the kids, honestly. I feel like, because I cannot bring myself to do any of, like these videos. I just can't. And I think it's the dancer in me who my parents spent like thousands of dollars. Maybe that's an exaggeration. I don't know. I'm not good at math. But he spent a lot of money on my dance training. I think I would just bring shame to the Bryant
You should do
name.
some dance videos though.
I mean, like actual dance videos, yeah. But these like dance videos, no tea. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I cannot bring myself, because I can just envision my dance teachers looking at it going, what in the sweet baby Jesus is this? Like, this is, and I can't.
Shame on you.
So I don't know how I got that many. I don't know. I check in on it once in a while.
You've got to tell me where you would go back in time and what you would bring and what you would say.
I think, I don't know. This is a really tough question, because I would want to go back for so many reasons. I'd like to go back in time to meet the first person who had a bowl cut and say, can you not start this trend? Same idea with frosted tips. And just say, I think that was just a mistake that happened and he ran with it. And I don't like that caught on. And so those are more of the things. I mean, I feel really bad, because I feel like I should be looking at larger picture things, like, stopping these tragedies. And I mean, I don't know. I think I would just stop the little things that have led up to so many questions now. Fanny packs. I would go back just recently to when people are wearing them across their chest, because personally, I think it looks atrocious. And everyone's sporting them like it is the most normal thing. And I was like, is anyone else seeing this? Is there anyone else? Is it just me who thinks this is ridiculous?
Yeah.
Apparently not, because our whole generation. So I think I would just go back.
I would probably go back in time and stop myself from wearing leggings underneath a skirt and with Ugg boots.
I would go back in time and stop myself from making my eyebrows the largest shape possible. And then filling them in so that when you look at me, you go, eyebrows. That's the only thing you think of. Eyebrows.
That's what people think of when they see me, they're like, eyebrows.
But those are like natural eyebrows. Mine were like this really ugly color that never even matched my hair. And they were like drawn on the most bold shape. Like it was something that somebody copy and pasted onto my face. And
that's so funny.
I mean, that's something, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things I'd go back and, I mean, everything shapes you into the person you are now. No. I mean, there are things that I think would have just benefit me. I cut my hair really, really short when I was like 12. Thought it would be a cute look. I thought I would rock a cute pixie. It did not. I look like a boy. And I had to live with that. So I'd probably go back and tell myself to not do that.
And stop
but
that.
Yeah, maybe there are some things. I mean, I'd go back to, do you know what? I do know what I would do. I would go back to sometime in the 1990s and I would go to Brad Pitt when he's in the middle of making Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And I would look at him and I'd say, don't you dare do this to Jen Aniston. Don't. And then he would probably look at me and say, security. But I know that what I would say would stop what happened to Jen. And that's because it's not fair.
They may still be married now.
She deserves
she may have had a baby.
Everything. And he took that away from her. And don't get me wrong, I love me some Jolie. I think she's awesome. But not at the expense of Jen's heart. So now I feel like a bad person because you'd go back for things that genuinely matter in the world, but my things matter too. Between the two of us, we would change the world.
I think I'd go back in time and stop Bradley Cooper from being born too early so he was my age and I could date him.
I've genuinely gotten concerned for how attached you are to Bradley Cooper. Borderline about to contact him with a restraining order for him to fill out.
Yeah, for me.
I have it sitting on my desk. It is. I just need to stamp it, send it away. He and I are tight. I mean, I like me some Brad, but I'm not gonna go stalk him unless it's for the gem thing. So yeah, in consensus. And then what I would bring, for Brad, I would bring probably just a vial of my spit. I would just bring a little vial of my saliva and just say, just in case in the future, even future, we can create children from my saliva and your bits. And if you ever...
you could just grow older and have babies with him right now.
Okay, well, no, that would be ridiculous.
Like, do it the old-fashioned way.
Let's not bring in some ridiculous theories here, okay? I mean...
Like, you could meet him tomorrow, technically, and, like, have his babies. So, like, I don't know why you need to go back in time and give him your spit when you're, like, a 1-year-old already. Like, look, I'm on the planet already. I'm about 1 year old. But if you want to have my babies right now, this is my spit.
I'm just thinking more so if, for whatever reason, aliens came to the Earth, like mean aliens, not the nice aliens, and they took over, and now he has no one, and he's like, how am I going to reproduce? And then he reflects back to the 1990s.
He's like,
when...
Because obviously he's the only person in the world and has no idea how science works in terms of, like, recreating genetics.
Know.
But he has your spit, at least.
He would know. He would say, man, I have no one to reproduce with. And then flashback to when he was in the 90s. A 1-year-old comes to him with a saliva of spit and says, use this in the future. And then he pulls out of his back pocket because that's the only thing he took with him. And then we reproduced having Kels and Bradley.
How you just said that a 1-year-old came to him and said, here's my spit.
I don't understand why you think this is the most ridiculous thing that could happen.
Do you know what would probably be better? You froze your eggs and gave him some embryos. Some eggs. For him to make embryos other than your spit. It'd be much easier for him to make a baby if he just had your eggs.
Does science work like that with baby eggs? Because that just seems weird. That doesn't seem right. To give baby eggs. That's like him reproducing with a baby. And that's weird.
I'm saying now. Your eggs now. You'll be one if you go back in time, but your eggs now. This has gone down a very dark path.
Liv, I think you've thought way too much about this. I think you need to settle down. You've delved way too far into this. This is a very surface topic. So anyway, you're going to go save a lot of people from Hitler, and I'm going to reproduce with Brad Pitt.
Oh my god, I love that.